Managed WordPress hosts are a dime a dozen these days. So what good can come from me reviewing yet another one? Well, I'll tell you, WPX is a managed WordPress hosting company. They do offer all of the stuff that a WordPress host offers, but there are two features that really caught my eye. Now, full disclosure, this is a paid review, but it is an honest review. So the fact that they have paid for this review will not color anything about the review for me. In fact, I'm not even really going to review the service. I am going to talk about two features that really jump out at me. One is their migrations, and the other is support. Hey everybody, Joe Casabona here. Thanks so much for coming back to, or visiting for the first time, the YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well. I am going to be talking about WPX in this paid review. We'll be looking at their hosting platform. But like I said, there are a couple of features that really jump out at me that I think differentiate them from the rest. But before we get into that, I do need to ask you to subscribe to this channel. I put out videos weekly or so. Sometimes it's twice weekly, sometimes every other week. It averages out to about once a week though. So definitely subscribe, and then you'll see whenever I'm putting new videos out. If you really like what I'm doing, you can become a member over at joincreatorcrew.com, where you'll get live stream stuff, ad-free extended episodes of my podcast, behind the scenes looks, B-roll, and a whole lot more. That is just $50 a year. That's, what is that? Less than $5 a month? I paid $6 for a coffee, a small coffee recently. So, get more value than a small coffee per month for less than that small coffee. All right, let's get into the review. Like I said, I'm not going to dive into the client dashboard or anything like that, because this is a remix on most other hosting platforms, right? I have the service areas. I have the ability to manage websites and manage WordPress, install SSL, create email addresses, FTP users, blah, right? All of the same stuff that you will find in pretty much any managed WordPress host, right? So just to kind of set the stage on exactly what is offered and for how much, you're probably wondering how much. WPX starts at $20 per month or so, $250 a year for the yearly plan. You get 5 websites, 10 gigs of storage, and a whole bunch of other stuff here. And that can go all the way up to $1,000 a year, which is 35 websites. Good value, sure. Yeah, this is, again, pretty in line with most of these managed WordPress hosting companies. There are also a bunch of features here: one-click WordPress, SSD, DDoS protection, unlimited email boxes. That's pretty cool. Not every host comes with email, though. If I'm being honest, I'm going to tell you to put your email on a different specialized host. I mean, unless it's like a forward, but again, if you want like an honest to goodness email address for your inbox, I would recommend G Suite or Fastmail or Proton Mail or something like that. Just something not inextricably tied to your hosting company, because if you ever want to change hosting companies, that's one thing, but also you may run into some deliverability issues that you wouldn't have with Google or Proton Mail, because they specialize in email and they're trusted by email clients and other inboxes and service providers. So they're not gonna. It's less likely that they'll end up on a blacklist, right? So it is cool though, if you just want to like set one up for funsies, that maybe it's like a cloaked email address that sends to your personal email address or a different business address. It's cool that they include that. And then a couple of other things, right? Important backups. I'm going to talk about migrations in a minute. Unlimited SSL certificates. SSL certificates is something that is a deal breaker for me at this point. If a hosting company doesn't offer SSL certificates, then they are not worth paying for. So that is their features. Now, like I said, there's a couple of things that I want to mention here that they talk about under their promises. The first is speed. Okay. Every managed WordPress host is going to tell, pretty much every host ever, unless it's like a blatantly a shared host, is going to tell you that they are fast. What I like about WPX is they actually have, they have a full blog post on what is a CDN, why is theirs different. They say they built it custom from the ground up for high performance WordPress hosting. That's neat, right? Because other CDNs, Cloudflare is kind of built to work with everybody. So they call it XDN. Again, super fast, hand built, 30 endpoints, which is good if you're unfamiliar with how a CDN works. Basically, your website is copied to a bunch of different servers all over the world, and then when your website is requested, the closest server to that user is going to serve up your data, more or less. That's a very watered down version of it. So it's good cache. Dynamic resources are cached and reevaluated every 30 seconds. That's really where cache can bite you, and CDN can bite you. So they have speed tests that show how well this works. And then they kind of give you a list of all the endpoints, right? Which is good. There's one in Sofia, Bulgaria. I'm going to point this out because I know a lot of people in that area of the world always have problems. Like, they'll always have speed issues. There's one in New Zealand. There's one in Australia. Again, I know people in New Zealand and Australia who say, like, there are very few fast loading websites because they're islands. So this is a cool thing to highlight. I think it's cool that they've taken the time to kind of custom build their own CDN. I am not, and I should say I'm not a server expert. I'm not a performance expert. Maybe this is something every hosting company does, but I doubt it, especially because from what I've seen, most partner with Cloudflare. So it's cool that they have this CDN as one of their major features, and it comes with all of their plans. It's not an upsell or anything like that. So big boost there. But the thing I want to really talk about is support. They say they provide 30-second average support response time. So first of all, that's really fast, really important when it comes to hosting. You need good hosting or good support for your hosting if you want to if you have a mission critical website. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about with their support. But it's not the only thing I wanted to talk about with their support. So on top of them more or less not guaranteeing, they're not guaranteeing 30 seconds or less, but that is the average and it's been verified. But on top of that, they offer a fixed for you free and fast guarantee if your site goes offline. So what does this mean? It means that if you run into a technical issue affecting the normal operation of your site, their support team will fix the issue for you fast and free. This is what I believe is the differentiator. Okay, I think that most hosting companies, even WordPress specific hosting companies, will not make this guarantee in any way, shape, or form. So what does that mean? If your site goes offline, they'll fix it fast and for free. I've been part of hosting companies where if the site goes offline, if it's not directly part of their stack, if they're like, well, it's a plugin, they won't do it for you, right? So let's talk about kind of the caveats here Does it cover every possible scenario? Not exactly. The main purpose of the FFY guarantee is to get an offline website back live as fast as humanly possible. So usually this is possible within seconds or minutes. So they'll probably do those troubleshooting things that I'll recommend, like clear the cache, restart the server, whatever. Or it looks like some problems are much deeper, badly written plugin code requiring deactivation to keep the site working. In a case like this, that plugin itself probably needs to be rewritten. That's not something they can do, but they will fix the majority of issues to make a site go offline, right? So if it is a plugin, they'll figure out which plugin and deactivate it, it sounds like. Any exclusions to the FFY guarantee? Fixing problems caused by poor coding software. Okay, so this is not going to prevent a plugin update, probably, that breaks your site. Though they'll get it back online. Hardware issues at the end user, internet connection issues, they can't possibly guarantee that. Fixes to CSS, PHP, design, or visual improvements, that's well beyond the scope of a hosting company. But the fact that they're guaranteeing that they'll get your site back online as quick as possible is more than I can say for a lot of hosting companies. So that was when they reached out about a paid review. That was the feature that I really wanted to highlight, because I don't think a lot of hosting companies do that. And yes, there are the caveats that you'll find with a lot of other hosting companies. They're not going to fix plugins for you. They're not going to write code for you. It's unreasonable to think that. But it sounds like if there is a plugin with code that's taking down your site, they'll at the very least disable that plugin to get it back online. So really great feature there. The other thing, wrapping up here, the other thing I wanted to highlight was their migrations. Migrating websites is a pain in the neck. And I know they're not the only host that does this. My current hosting company did this for me, but not every hosting company does this. So the fact that they're making this easy and fast and free and included, how can I start an express migration? So you can do an express migration, but the fact that they include migrations over to their service is incredible, especially if you have a lot of websites that you want to move over, right? So, maybe I do some cost analysis and I move from one hosting company that I'm not very happy with over to WPX if it meets all of my needs. And a big benefit possibly of moving over to them is they'll do the migration for me, which will literally save me hours of work. So there you go. The three things I wanted to highlight: the XDN, right? So their custom built CDN, the 30-second average support request, and then the getting your site back online as fast as possible for free, and the site migrations. If you want to check out WPX, you can head over to WPX.net and try out one of their hosting packages. Again, it starts at $20 a month. If you buy a year's worth, you get 2 months free for that, and that's 5 websites. So, that's what is that, $4 a website a month? Not bad. Resell that to your clients for $10, and you're making 125% profit or something like that. 150% profit. I'm really bad at math. So there you go. Check out WPX.net. But that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up down below. If you really enjoy the stuff I'm doing, subscribe to this channel to know when new videos come out. And if you really, really like what I'm doing, head over to joincreatorcrew.com and sign up for just $50 a year. That's $5, less than $5 a month. Now, if you're wondering, hey, how can I get Joe to make a video for me? I really liked this. It was honest, it was legitimate, and he found some nice things to say, right? And caveat here, if your product is absolute trash, I'm not going to review it. But it will be an honest review. And if you want one of those, you can head over to shop.casabona.org, look for the paid video review, and you can purchase it right there on the form. You can even have it rushed if you want. So if you're interested, you can go to shop.casabona.org right now and buy a paid video review. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, get out there and build something.